Greetings and salutations, Interdests. This is Wolfphototech, and here we are with another delightful video. This time it is Starfinder Rules Reference Cards. This is the first Starfinder Rules Reference Cards. This is just the generalist deck set. At MSRP is for $20, which actually is a pretty good deal price for it. There are two decks, standard size playing card size decks in here. It contains well over, give me one moment here, 110 cards. And on each side of the card, there is a important bit of information on how to play Starfinder First Edition. Starfinder 2nd Edition is currently in playtest, early playtest at Paizo. I've heard pronunciations all three ways. And this is the general format of the card. This happens to be initiative. It lists out the rough description, the equation, as well as various other information here, as well as any other cards that are in this set that reference or relate to this card specifically, such as card 39 and card 40 are related to initiative as a card. And then on the back side, it would either be a continuation of the front or be another thing. In this case, it's surprise. And these happen to be just handy-dandy for anyone who needs to learn how to play Starfinder First Edition. Now, I've mentioned numerous times before, there's basically three categories of card sets, particularly with Paizo, but many other TTRPG companies and third-party companies will have cards in one of these three categories. The first category is the essential aids category. This category is either made of one of two subcategories. They're either necessary to play the game, as in the mechanic of the card itself is a necessary device that's used in the actual core game itself, which typically will be sold in a starter set or a core set. A good example would be, say, Forgotten Lands, and anything by Free League Publishing will oftentimes have cards included in it that are actually core mechanic to the system itself. And then the subcategory 2 of Type 1 is exceedingly useful player and game master aids for learning and playing the system. This is one of those categories. And then the second category is nice add-on features that bolt onto the system itself very well, that just naturally are extensions of it, but are not necessary whatsoever to play in the game system, but add extra features on top that are easy to use. And then the third category is actually a bastardization of the second category, which is basically supplementary features or devices that are so far off in design principle from the core rules and mechanics that it requires a whole bunch of extra learning to actually use them. And this is not unusual with companies like Paizo, where they hire a bunch of freelancers and they create tons and tons of products. Eventually you end up with a few sets or decks or other companies such that will create decks that add extra features that's actually just easier to learn the core system and just use imagination to do that function. And I'll point those that Type 3 out whenever they show up. This is Type 1, and being as such, this is Type 1B, which is a nice add-on player aid, game master aid that helps players play the game more efficiently, and game masters and players to learn the game system more efficiently. As such, this is going to be a really short video. This, if you have the money, and I do like the fact that it MSRPs for $20, which is not terribly expensive. This set of cards is easily in this 4.5 star territory. It would be nicer if these cards were physically bigger. I mean, like a little bit bigger in size with bigger text and maybe a little bit more information on it. But other than that, or better, slightly organized, you know, like have all the initiative related cards in a line, all the exploration line cards in a line, and so forth. And like basically grouped in color categorized, like red cards are one combat, blue cards are for exploration, green cards are for exploration, blue cards are for social interaction, yellow cards are downtime in engineering, buildings, crafting stuff, kind of extension cards. There is easily a few ways to make this deck way better, but even as it is exceedingly good for new players and new game masters to Starfinder. I just show you a few cards. And there, it's a different thing on the back side, or the same thing. This happens to be energy armor class description right here on this card. And on the back side, it actually has kinetic armor class, which is actually a really neat concept for Starfinder. But anyways, this system is actually quite cool. This is a really useful deck for anyone who wants to play Starfinder or a game master wants to run it. And Starfinder First Edition is on my long list of systems I want to get people into in my groups, as well as people on the internet. So there you go. And as I said, there's 2 cards here, and oftentimes you'll have a second card that also contains the OGL or instructions on how to use the deck. In this case, it's just one single card that simply has the symbols for what those mean on the top of the cards, as well as the OGL front to back. So there you go. This is easily a 4.5 star item. I highly recommend this item to anyone who is new to Starfinder, or people who are experienced somewhat in Starfinder but want to have an easy reference device to easily flip through and study the rule mechanics more precisely. These rules reference decks are easily one of the best decks besides condition card decks and the Alien Archive decks for Starfinder. I guarantee they will definitely help you out a lot in learning how to play the system. It's now just a matter of me getting around the opportunity to get to run a bunch of campaigns in either Starfinder First Edition or Second Edition. I would love to run a bunch of campaigns in Starfinder First Edition before Starfinder Second Edition comes out. Thank you very much for watching this delightful video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If there's any system you've seen anywhere on the channel that you enjoy, go ahead and check out those videos. I cover a broad range of systems. I cover the very basics of the system as much as possible without sticking too long to it. Because some systems are quite big and some systems are quite small. And truly, if you really want to truly understand a system, you have to research as much as you can and then get around to actually playing the system. There you go. I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, a magnificent month, and see you next time. Ciao.